Oh, hello. Hello, believers, non-believers, atheists, anybody that's taking the time to watch my videos. I want to talk to you about Abraham. Abraham is one of my favorite stories. And it's also a story in the Bible that a lot of atheists and non-believers point to as the ridiculousness of the Bible. That a woman could conceive at 90, that these God-believing people would have a servant, have a son, that they would pass a servant's son off as their own. That's just hypocrisy. I understand all those points. But I want to tell you what in my opinion is the real story of the story of Abraham. Okay, so Abraham is a fairly wealthy man. He's at least of means. He has sheep and livestock and some land. And his wife Sarah has not had a child. She's 90 years old. And she is really worried because back in those days, if the husband died, the woman could not inherit. So if they didn't have an heir, a son, male son, she would be in big trouble. So God tells Abraham, you will have a son. You just have to be patient. Sarah just doesn't believe. She doesn't want to have anything to do with that. So she convinces her husband to have relations with their servant. They're going to have a boy. The woman gets pregnant. They have a baby boy. Awesome. They're going to pass this child off as their own, and he's now the heir. And the servant girl and Sarah will be taken care of. But God has told Abraham that He will provide him with a son with Sarah. And at 90 years old, Sarah becomes pregnant, and they have babies. Okay, so he's got two sons, Ishmael and Isaac. So now Sarah has her own son. She no longer needs a servant girl, basically kicks her and her son out. Everything's copacetic until God tells Abraham he has to sacrifice his son. Now I want you to think about this. You're a man. You have a wife who's badgered you. She convinces you to have relations with a servant, to have a baby. Then she kicks those people out because now she has her own baby. And you're going to go kill that baby, that boy. And Abraham sees this as a test of his faith. To me, it's like, okay, you waited 90 years. Well, I can kind of understand because what happened was he let his wife badger him into the servant girl thing. And he could say, you know what, I was faithful, maybe God is testing me again. And if you watch the movie The Ten Commandments or any other movies that portray this scene, you know it is a gut-wrenching scene. Abraham takes his son to the mountain, or wherever it was, the sacrifice place, and he's about to plunge the knife into his chest. Think about this. As a father, when you watch that scene, you watch him put his hand over the son's mouth, holding him down. The son's terrified beyond words. Abraham's got the knife in his hand about to stab his own son, the son he waited 90 years for. He sees this as a test of his faith. And then God intervenes and says, no, Abraham, I have provided the sacrifice, and there's a lamb there. And he's very relieved, and he goes and sacrifices the lamb. His son is so thankful, thinks his dad's gone crazy, runs home to his mother. And when you see that, a lot of people, atheists, non-believers, that just is an indication of how corrupted and terrible Christianity is. Why would you do that? Why would a loving God, put Abraham in that situation? Why would he have a murder an innocent young boy? But you're missing the point. Because you see, that's what God did. He did sacrifice his son. Every father out there knows, and mother, every parent, they know that they could never do that. And there's so many movies made about this. Brazil is one of my favorite. But we all end up making the selfish decision. If you were given the choice, save your child or just pick a round number, 1 million people. There's a nuclear bomb that's going to blow up in a city and everybody's going to die. You can either go and disarm the bomb or you can go save your son or your child. Which one are you going to do? 100% of the people, they're going to go save their son. They're going to let 1 million people die. Okay? God didn't do that. He did sacrifice his son for us. He sacrificed his son so that every human being if they chose, could be with God. And that's what the story of Abraham's really about. So, next time you watch that Ten Commandments and you watch Abraham pull that knife over his son, think about that's God. And God did sacrifice his son for us. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.